Hey Scorpio, friends, family, and cross watchers. This is Bear Food Mama Intuitive Reading. It is December 28th, 2023. We're heading into the new year. I hope you all had a good holiday season. This is going to be just an interim pick me up between Christmas and the new year. I took a little break. I hope you all got a little break too. Anyway, let's just jump right in. All right. Let's see here. I got a couple of new decks I'm really excited for. The Light Seers Tarot you've probably seen before. Lots of readers use it. I want to pick out Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Kulinane, and I hope I said your name right. It's just like some animal spirit oracles. So, oh, Ten of Swords jumping out. Cool. Leaving that energy behind. Leaving the Ten of Swords behind in 2023 sounds like a pretty good start. This one wants to Seven of Swords. Ooh, interesting. So here's the Ten of Swords. I think it's a warbler being deceived. The jaguar. Seven of Swords. And the moon. Oh, it's the coyote. So for what you're leaving behind, it's the Ten of Swords. That's pretty great. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any notions of betrayal, of lack of fulfillment, of non-reciprocity. And then the way that this speaks to me also is there's this bird waiting to be fed by what it thinks is its mother, and it's not. So it's like any like childhood wounds or any expectation of nourishment where it will not be coming from, you are leaving behind. Progress, nurturing, ideas, and expansion. The yellow warbler is often the victim of the imposing cowbird, who sees an opportunity of passing off the job of parenthood. Over time, the warbler has learned to create a barrier of grass between the cowbird eggs and its own eggs to ensure that the cowbird does not hatch. Whoa. The lesson we can learn from the warbler is how to deal with those who wish to take advantage of our good nature. This bird has mastered the art of creating boundaries. That's pretty beautiful. So I'm taking that this is the yellow warbler and this is the cowbird. Cowbirds are actually really pretty. If you've ever seen them, they have like a really dark brown head and then like a lighter brown body. Seven of Swords, at least if it's the one I'm thinking of. Independence, pride, strength, intuition, and survival. So this is where you're currently at, Scorpios, especially in this interim season between Christmas and the New Year, like readying yourself for what's to come. Seven of Swords energy suggests the situation may test your honor and integrity. If you are tempted to abandon the insights and wisdom of those around you, the result may be perception that you are arrogant and self-serving. Be aware of your self-talk when you draw the Seven of Swords. Are you convinced that you're the only one with the skills or the knowledge to handle a situation or bring about success? Although your efforts may not be motivated by selfishness, in the end, you also may not receive as many thank yous as you expected. The energy of the Seven of Swords brings is that of solitude and independence, of going it alone. Let's see here. If you or someone else manages all the details alone without oversight, there's a possibility of deception or cutting corners without acknowledgement. Found in the Americas, the black panther, like other jaguars, lives a solitary life on the top of the food chain. The only threat to these beautiful and powerful creatures are humans. Call on the panther's energy when you need to fill the role of a leader that commands respect, as it will help you maintain your integrity and honesty. If you need to confront a difficult situation that leaves you frightened of the consequences, the fearless panther will be your guide over this obstacle, as it will show you the path toward honor and dignity. When you confront your fears, traveling into the darkness within, uncovering that part of yourself that is all too comfortable with staying hidden, you will unleash an awakening and your life will change for the better. That's beautiful. So you may be going through an awakening right now, or you may be facing the sort of edge, 5:15 on the timer when I said that, facing the edge of an awakening and you're not quite ready to jump through those gates. I'm seeing like these jaguars are facing each other on either side, and there's like these pillars here that indicates a path to walk through. There's this really lovely documentary about panthers in the Everglades, and it's talking about cougars as we know them, but panthers in the Everglades on Disney, I think Disney Plus, and it's pretty touching. I think it's kind of an older one, but that's coming up. Maybe you'd like to learn more about that. Anyway, what you don't see, rather, what's coming in your energies. The coyote indicates a new beginning, um, trickery, adaptation, creativity, and hiding in the shadows. The moon appears when the time has come for you to see a situation for how it is in reality, not how you prefer it to appear. You're being asked to dive into the darkness of your subconscious and explore what dwells within you. Use your imagination to examine your fears and anxieties and explore freely, giving the unknown space to come out from the shadows. Do you see your life as it is in reality, or are you constructing a story that feels more comfortable and familiar? Call upon the cunning and quick-witted coyote when you must face a complicated reality, as this trickster can help you see the humor and the lighter side of life. Ooh. Well, this definitely feels like a Scorpio reading. You're leaving behind this betrayal. You've learned how to set boundaries. In learning how to set boundaries, you're entering a new gateway into a leadership role, but one that requires you to have strength and integrity, and that will be tested by the universe offering you some difficult situations, perhaps right now, perhaps regarding your family or loved ones, or even a lack thereof around you. This may also indicate with the panther and the moon. I'm thinking of the jaguar in the spirit or the shaman oracle deck, and it talks about like how the jaguar is the spirit guide for shamans in South America, through like other worlds, other dimensions. So you might be also embracing a leadership role in like the esoteric or something like that, or like in the moon here in the coyotes. The coyote indicates to me the fool. He's a trickster energy, so he can be related to the magician, but I always think of the coyote as the fool because in my own personal journey he's represented like new beginnings, especially the new ego identities. So like the coyote and the moon, this talks about an ego identity that you have yet to unlock. The trash can here with the water is really interesting too. I'm just sort of reading this card intuitively, but there might be a situation that you feel is like trashed or trashy or something you want to throw out, and you may find that there's something valuable there that's necessary for your survival. There's all these different windows in the background as well that indicate like multiple ways of viewing something, and you have yet to explore them all. Anyway, let's I didn't realize I hadn't pulled out the cards yet. Let's clarify these. What do Scorpios need to know for this interim period? What I'm curious about, it's like, you know what this difficult situation is that you're leaving behind with this Ten of Swords. But I have this feeling that you are about to face something that is like majorly challenging for you or your ego, the way you see yourself, especially with this Seven of Swords, meaning digging deep into your personality to find integrity and honor and leadership. So I'm kind of curious, like, what this situation is. Archangel Michael, I call upon you to protect this reading, send any negative energy back, transmuted tenfold for the highest good of all. Thank you. As above, so below. As within, so without. Ten of Wands reversed and the Six of Cups reversed. That's really interesting. So as you unburden yourself of any attachments to past nostalgia, especially during this season with communication between family members or friends, it's like you might realize that you were hanging on to something in order to hide from yourself. What were you hiding from yourself? Seven of Swords reversed. It's not going to let me, it's not going to let me specify. The Seven of Swords is being clarified by the Seven of Swords reversed. Oh, I see. You were avoiding taking on a leadership role by standing for something that people around you don't agree with or may not agree with. And you were doing this by focusing too much on the past or I think trying to, I want to say leaving the past behind, but this is the reverse. This is like you didn't want to take on the burdens of leaving the past behind. Page of Pentacles reverse. Are all of these reversed? No. Okay. That was the Page of Swords that just showed up. 12:28 on the timer. Page of Pentacles reversed. A youthful, invigorating, like, material offer. It could have been that you were offered like a job or something and you didn't feel inspired by it, or like, I don't know, I'm feeling like this is like a desire to return to youthfulness. And I think that facing the fact that the past is in the past will invigorate you to move forward in the 3D in a way that makes you feel more youthful than you would like in trying to hang on to what's already gone. Like it'll bring a renewed spirit, especially to whatever you're working on. Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Wands. You're also probably avoiding, this card wants to come out, we'll look at it in a second. You're also probably avoiding healing. This has come up multiple times in your readings in the last couple months, but avoiding healing, because the more you heal from a situation that was like really unpleasant, the more unpleasant it looks, because the contrast and the divide between the two dynamics gets bigger. So it can, in a way, almost feel more scarring to move on from past traumas. And you may be feeling like you're never going to find a happiness that sort of eclipses the yeah, like you're out of options. a happiness that eclipses the sense of betrayal. It's like the two are sort of hand in hand for you at the moment. And I feel like the Scorpios I've been reading for have been wavering there for at least like a month. There was a reading I did like a couple weeks ago, I think, where it talks about you walking like this middle road between duality. And basically like the good and the bad are on either side, and you know both extremes really well, and it's like where you put your perspective is kind of what you're manifesting. So let's talk about what you're manifesting and get some advice. The Magician for what you're manifesting. That's awesome. Love it when spirit does that. You're manifesting being the manifester of your life. Ten of Swords reversed. Yeah, I mean, there's that. You may have gone through a betrayal that you just wish like hadn't happened. You might be switching to a timeline. You might be switching timelines. Like, I don't think that it will feel like it, I don't think it'll ever feel like it never happened. But you're able to like switch your perspective in such a way that it shifts this Ten of Swords to be upside down. Something that's coming to my mind is another series. It's on Netflix. It's called The OA for the Original Angel. And in season 2, they're switching timelines. They're switching timelines in both, but in season 2, it becomes very interesting because it's like they're consciously switching timelines, and it's pretty bizarre actually. But this made me think of the OA. It's like you're switching timelines, and it's like the people around you are familiar, but they're not exactly in the same role or something. And this betrayal has been transmuted into something useful. The Empress. Whoa. The Empress, like, again, it makes me think, at least in that show, in the OA, the original angel is this woman who's like conscious through her timeline switches, or gains consciousness about them. So you may be gaining consciousness about having switched timelines when something comes to light. Either something you don't remember, or this Ten of Swords comes to light in a way that you don't remember it and you do at the same time. It's like your past life version of you is, or an alternate timeline version of you is like, oh yeah, that's not how that happened. But your current timeline version of you is like, of course that's how it happened. That's really interesting. Let me know if this resonates by giving it a like or a subscribe. The Empress is heart chakra healing. I think she has watermelons all over her dress. They look like watermelons to me. And I've never really pointed that out before or like taken note of it specifically because I don't know what they are. But what it's making me think of in terms, watermelons have like lots of seeds, and it's like you've planted lots of seeds. The Empress is also usually depicted as being pregnant, so you may be pregnant with new ideas. If you're not wanting to get pregnant, the general rule of thumb when the Empress comes up is to be careful. If there's 2 of you and you're not wanting to make 3, you know. Let's see. This is also nourishment. When we talked about nourishment here, this isn't learning how to find nourishment in the right places by learning to receive. You've made your manifestations. The betrayal may be just a version of self-sabotage in which you do not know how to receive, and you learn in this current timeline how to do that. Maybe from a certain with this coyote in the trash can, it may be from being attached to a certain way of receiving, like 2002 on the timer. That's interesting. Doorway. You may manifest in such a way that you like want it to look exactly like it does in your mind, and then the universe might send it to you in a way that doesn't quite look the way you thought it would, but the universe has a way of creating things that are better for you than you would know a lot of the time. Use your instinct, obviously. Don't fall into something that you don't want or need, but or receive something you don't want or need. This is interesting too. I'm seeing this Empress sitting here on her throne and all of these swords pointed outwards as though she has created her boundaries. And on top of that is this magician. You may have karmically manifested something in other lifetimes or like alternate timelines that you're protected from by learning to embrace this Empress energy. Oh, that's so interesting. This might even be like your divine counterpart. I think it's also interesting that the magician came up underneath the coyote when we were talking about him being the fool or the trickster and the magician as well. What you don't see. Oh, it's card 18, and then you have the 1 and the 8, like the infinity symbol. 18 might be significant to you. You might have a November 18th birthday. Something may have happened when you were 18. You may have manifested something when you were 18 that is like coming to fruition, but you're protected now because you didn't know what you were doing back then. You also have 9 here, so duplicates of the wounded warrior may indicate that you've gone through like multiple wounded warrior sort of ego 22 on the timer, ego revolutions and deaths. Again, with the coyote being death, as I say that, reversed. The coyote being the ego and indicating multiple ego deaths at the beginning of this reading. So you have death reversed coming into the Empress energy. It's definitely like a rebirth of some sort. And I think it's a rebirth of whatever you want. And I think that that might be kind of where you're struggling or wavering between stepping through this doorway on the 7 of Swords card. Is because if you have the power to manifest kind of whatever you're wanting to, like you've made your decision. The High Priestess reversed. What's coming to mind is my niece asked when she was like 4 years old. She asked her mom, like, there's so many things in the world. What am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna have time to do them all? And it's like, of course we don't, right? So it's like, are you able to pick what makes your heart sing, or are you like stuck in an energy of survival and picking that over and over? And how has that worked for you? And with the High Priestess reversed, there's something you know intuitively, especially as we're addressing the moon here, that you're not incorporating into the fundamental establishment of your strength. And I think what you know is it's about death, it's about letting go, it's about divine law, it's about moon cycles, possibly the occult. And you've possibly also been fending this off for a really long time. Again, since you were 18, maybe even younger, like maybe since you were 9, maybe this has worked in intervals of 9 in your life. 9 is like the spiritual ascent number. I believe it's like also a number of coming to completions. So you may be experiencing a rebirth of your intuitive and psychic gifts as well this year. Strength reverse, that's interesting. Yeah, something you're not using to establish your strength. Advice for Scorpios, please, Spirit, as well. Three of Cups. Good company. The Star. The Star can mean hope after loss. It can mean having one foot in both worlds. It can mean pouring into those cups that pour into yours, since this person is pouring one cup onto the land, and there's like one cup pouring onto the land back here, and that land is pouring into this lake, and like vice versa. You can kind of picture it as like the wheel of karma there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This might also indicate like the Pleiades, being a star child. If you have like star child abilities, like you affect electromagnetics or electronics or something like that. This might be you learning to like tune into like subtler frequencies. Ace of Cups reversed. Something you poured all of your emotional energy into that you thought was dead and gone may be coming through with this resurrection. Advice for Scorpios. The Sun. Focus on the star, the moon, and the sun in the same row here with your card. Focus on what makes you joyful, and that's easier said than done sometimes, but with the star and the sun, it's like hope it, especially after like putting down your 10 of Swords, right? Laying it to rest finally. Hope is kindled and like fueled by these small joys. There's a word for it in like Norse, I think, like in the Norse pagan traditions. And I don't know the word. If you do, or if you have an ability to look it up, I recommend it. But it's literally like just an expression for enjoying the small things, like a hot cup of tea on a cold day, or braiding your hair, or like a ribbon. I don't know, just little things. This is you just learning to focus your attention on the little things more than this 10 of Swords or whatever, so that each day is filled more and more with like joy. And I'm thinking about something that I learned regarding quantum entanglement. There's this, oh, what is it called? I'm so sorry. I'm struggling with words right now. It's a patent I was reading for a quantum like cube, and it's just these two metal plates essentially like made of some sort of alloy or something that my brain can't fathom, but like it's called the Leela box, and you put like a photo or like a belonging of somebody's into this box, and you shoot rays at it of like quantum particles. And I guess that they discovered that it's easier to affect people through quantum entanglement at a distance who with negative energy, And then with positive energy, it's easier to affect people like in closer proximity. So like if you're looking for the positive, I guess what's coming through here is that the more little positive things you find in your proximity, the more of an effect that's going to have than, like, say, thinking about your future, um, or envisioning what's to come, or like thinking about something that's far away or far off. You know, interesting. A child might be involved. Yeah, you might be bringing forth a child. What is any other advice for Scorpio? Four of Pentacles. This Four of Pentacles immediately spoke to me about balance in your security, not just with your finances, but looking at security as something that maintains these four corners. In like Wicca, we call on the four corners when we do like rituals. Um, I have a compass up here, northeast, southwest, and all the elements. And there's many traditions around the world that do that. So your security isn't just your finances, it's like your ability to, say, go outside in the woods and identify plants or know how to use them, or like know where your food comes from, or I'm getting like prepper vibes. Don't take it too far, obviously, but like collecting rainwater. Also, what's on top of the Three of Cups, like in who you surround yourself by. Your security is also reliant upon who surrounds you. And then, yeah, your head, your heart, your left and your right. Um, the Hermit reversed. Yeah, there's a lot about coming out of hermit mode here. Enjoying good company. Maybe you've really been struggling with some insecurities with Strength reversed, or struggling to find yourself vulnerable enough, especially after some Ten of Swords situations, to be able to be in good company comfortably. And this may be all you wish for at this moment. And if that's the truth, then your manifestations are going to look like, every small conversation you have, albeit it could be even with strangers or something, like just those are going to be the things you focus on. And I'm really getting this sense that in our 33 minutes on the timer, in our manifestations, we like, sometimes you get into the flow and you manifest things like so quickly and so crazily that you like could never have even sat down in a room full of like writers to collect all of their brain pieces to create a story like that insane. Like that's what's coming up for me here. It's like as soon as you embrace, like, let those swords rest, like embrace forgiveness. There's a Wayne Dyer YouTube thing by the Academy of Ideas, I believe, that's about how there's no justified resentments. You might want to check that one out. But as soon as you like lay this to rest, which very well may just find out is your own self-sabotage, and come out of hermit mode and like realize that you have all the tools you need to build from a stable foundation, you're going to manifest wish fulfillment, good company, the sun, joy, happiness, and it'll be like that quick. This is your Empress energy. You're giving birth to this like right now. It's like you've been ripening like the watermelon, right? And I'm picturing those like viral TikTok watermelons that like explode. It's just all of a sudden, bam, and then your manifestation is like before your eyes, and it might even be a little bit blinding, and it might even like scare you. I don't, like, if you've ever like gotten into that flow and things start to manifest so quickly you kind of wonder if is this real? Like that's what I'm seeing. That's really cool. Queen of Cups reversed. Interesting. I think this is just again about setting boundaries. Oh, with a King of Wands. King of Wands, Queen of Cups reversed. 8 of Wands swiftly. Yeah, so any situation that was unfair, breadcrumbing, heartbreak, blah 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 blah. That's quickly being resolved. Again, with this 8 of Wands, this manifestation is gonna happen so quickly. You're gonna be like, what? What is that? You're coming out of hermit mode. What is the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands reversed? Knight of Swords reversed. And the Fool reversed. Whoa. All these people reversed. This Queen of Cups energy is you, Scorpio, being not very sympathetic or empathetic. King of Wands reversed is somebody who's a narcissist. Like, he wants things the way he wants them in his own time, in his own way. And if this Queen of Cups isn't you, it's somebody you were dealing with who was like this, who may come through or have somebody else come through with like some pretty brazen words for you. And at the same time asking for a new beginning. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds weird, but Knight of Cups, yeah. A new beginning. This might be like a really tempting offer coming through from somebody that is designed to bring you out of hermit mode. All I can say is use your intuition. With this 3 of Cups here, vulnerability and strength reversed, the Star, the Sun, and the 8 of Wands, everything looks really good. And I think this is your challenging situation. You've been dealing with your intuition being blocked because you've been breadcrumbed or gaslit by somebody who broke your heart, and left you feeling like indecisive, like you couldn't trust yourself or your intuition. This is a final sort of like encounter with the lesson of like why you didn't trust your intuition and how you do now. It's like a situation that comes up to show you how much you've grown. And as soon as you have this realization, this manifestation super flow comes through. The Knight of Cups might be you deciding like you don't want anything to do, if these are people from your past, like with anyone from your past coming in for some new beginning. Like this might be you being like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna like go hang out with my friends and my family, and work on, you know, whatever other wish fulfillments you might have. The 4 of Swords reversed is like if you've been dealing with recovery, like it could be falling off the wagon. Maybe you had a moment, you know, a slip up. It could be that you've been in recovery from there's a lot of connections here, like toxic connections with people, like being in recovery. I think what came through was in this Ten of Swords card was like giving nourishment to something that's not going to nourish you back. Again, the warbler is feeding the cowbird's chicks instead of its own, right? And its chicks die instead of the cowbirds. It's been totally disillusioned, which is like heartbreaking. So with the Empress over here and then this like baby bird back here, I'm feeling like Nine of Pentacles vibes, because she's got that bird that she talks to. It's like a little friend, and she's like happy to be alone. This is you just being happy in your own skin and at whatever intuition or gaslighting you were experiencing. All of these people might want to be coming back because you're experiencing this also. Like you might be experiencing a glow up or something, or like, yeah, with the sun and the star and the moon. Yeah, and the Ace of Cups reversed here. Death, the Ten of Swords reversed. All the reverse cards here can also indicate that like whatever has happened in the past with other people, offering love to those people for the lessons that they have given you, for the way that they have made you into this person. Four of Pentacles does not always seem like the best option, but if you're somebody who gives to your own detriment, you can become resentful and drained and exhausted. And so the Four of Pentacles is like the lesson, the karmic lesson for a person like that. And this is you achieving that. Anything else for Scorpios? Anyway, yeah, giving love to all of these people in your past, letting go of resentments with the Ten of Swords here. That's going to quickly show you how strong you are and show you exactly where you need to give your energy. And those manifestations are like, they're already there. It's just like you have yet to see it. Three of Pentacles, mastery, self-mastery, mastery of a craft, mastery of like what you speak into existence is how I think of this card. With the left ear, he's listening. It's so weird. I had a dream about a coyote biting my left ear off last week. Left is also the receptive side. Receptive is in this Empress energy. So he becomes the master of his craft by learning how to listen, how to feel things out, how to intuit. And these royalty, like he's a craftsman, but this royal couple is coming and consulting with him so that they can build this church, right? This place of worship. So it's like he also bridges the gap between like classes, between like work environments. Like it's again that one foot in both worlds because of something you are building or something you're working on or something that you, whatever your craft is, it's like you're adept at it. King of Swords. Oh, and the Two of Cups reversed. So your craft might be like speech, Eight of Swords. It might be with the Eight of Swords there and the King of Swords, Two of Cups reversed. It might be like you might be a lawyer or do something in the justice system or something legal. You might also, the sword can indicate the pen, so you might write. It can indicate words and thoughts. You might be like a logician or like a tenured academic or something like that. And your job might be to actually talk about like the foundations of the typical love relationships that are sort of subconsciously seated um, in our psyches through like the movies that we watch and the books we read or something. With this Eight of Swords and this Two of Cups reversed, that's what's coming through. And then this Three of Pentacles, like there's a lot of reasons why that's coming through, actually. And you might be worried about talking about this because you might feel like it will sort of undo. Oh, interesting. You might feel like it'll sort of undo your security, which is why you're in this Four of Pentacles energy. Um, but you're closing out this cycle, quickly moving forward with the Chariot. That's like perfect because the Chariot, it's like fast, balanced, forward motion, but also somebody who's like sort of ready for war, right? And he's got this, he's like crowned by the stars. So you've got the star here, this wish fulfillment. So your manifestations might occur quite quickly. And then you might actually be like put in a position where you really need to do something or say something, speak something into existence. Interesting. The World, Ace of Wands, Judgment, Ten of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, Divorce. Huh. Go from the Magician to the World at the end of this reading. Again, with quick manifestations, like quick endings sometimes. And you might find that like the movement is so direct and so forward that you feel a little bit like hanging on to what's familiar or closing your eyes to what's going on with your manifestations. Like you might even be tempted to reject them because entering this flow might feel like a little too much to handle. But you're being encouraged to close out this cycle of like self-sabotage. You have the vital energy to embrace this Ace of Wands. You may make a judgment call to resurrect this pattern again so that your mind can handle it, so that you can gain the mental discipline to not be in this Queen of Swords reversed energy. Five of Wands, it can be playful. Just embrace playfulness. Page of Wands reversed. There's the Nine of Pentacles. Page of Swords. Two of Wands. Four of Wands. Yeah. So I think either way, like you're going to have multiple opportunities to sort of see, basically like see yourself create, see the manifestation occur. It'll probably trip you out and it'll happen like a little more quickly than you thought. And you're going to doubt it at first, and it might like reject your Ace of Pentacles. It might reject your Ten of Pentacles. This could be something this could be all these ego deaths you've already been through. Page of Wands, and then you embrace your Nine of Pentacles. Like that's kind of where you're at. Page of Swords, like learning how to deal with your mind. Like you're sort of, I think, learning to embrace the nature of like this infinity symbol, like the flow. Like you don't just get to your happiness and then everything stops, right? It's like you get to your happiness and then you're on a new trajectory, and this coyote, this full energy, like it's the moon, but this coyote comes through. So the moon, maybe what you're not seeing is that you've been kind of rushing to the finish line over and over, and there is no finish line. It's just a cycle. And the Fool reverse, the Knight of Swords reverse, the King of Wands reverse, the Queen of Cups reverse. These might be people that, like, maybe they come back and you do want to give them a second chance because you realize, like, you were sort of like on your hero's journey, and the hero, he becomes all of these things in, like, Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces. On the hero's journey, he the hero goes through all of these things and, like, sometimes faces the deepest darkest parts of himself, and sometimes, like, 50-50 on the timer, becomes, like, things he doesn't necessarily want to become. And I'm hearing, like, the Encanto song, did Hercules ever say, yo, I don't want to fight Cerberus, like, but he does it anyways, this three-headed dog. Anyway, you were on your hero's journey, and maybe the universe is blessing you with this opportunity to sort of resurrect what you thought was dead and gone, because you've manifested the fruits of that labor. Like, the hero comes back, he has to reintegrate back into society. That's like one of the last steps in the hero's journey, or the last step. And if he isn't able, one of the things that I like that Joseph Campbell mentions is that if he's not able to, like, reintegrate the information that he's found on the outskirts of, like, the societal norm back into society, then society rejects him and he's, like, crazy. So the like journey of the hero can also be the journey of the madman, and it's literally the difference between, like, the outcome, which is the difference between, like, Greek tragedy and Greek comedy, right? um it's just one detail, and it's like you might find that everything looks like a tragedy right now, and then there's this one detail of, like, your success that you hadn't considered, or your possibility for success or reintegration that you hadn't considered. And it's like you just do that, or the universe just has some crazy events lined up in place and you just walk right into them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was going to happen, and you are able to, like, reintegrate. I think it's up to you, really. The past is in the past, but again, you're, like, switching timelines, and you may find that upon reintegration, or upon being offered the opportunity of reintegration, you're, like, realizing that it's not the past coming back at all. It's like this future unfolding on a totally new timeline. Anyway, Scorpios, I hope that was a uplifting, helpful message for some of you. Please let me know if it resonated. You can like, comment, share, subscribe. You can book a reading with me on Etsy, or donate on my Patreon, become a member there. You can also donate on my Cash App. All of that information is in the description box below. And then the links are on my YouTube homepage. Let's see. You can also enter to win a free reading on 111 by entering free reading in the comments. So thank you for being here. I will see you all tomorrow.